Okay, so where we were building. Okay, let me start the dev server. npm dev. Our application is already running. Let me also increase the font size. I'm going to close this, and so we were in middle of implementing implement warnings. Basically, we want to log errors, right? Let me go to server. cd right, and I just want to add a to-do. Actually, we are building a to-do application. Then we are using a simple text file, and this is just so much like tells you about like how much you can get done just by a simple text file. So to do md, and the things I want to do is like the roadmap for this application. Now here's the things that we're going to do. Let me skip that. One is display error messages, right? And the second option we want to do is option to log out. And the third is like there are some issues the way we are logging user in, and the way we are setting up the token. There are some like issue that I've noticed, and look into issues related the issues related to auth, right, on the front end. And now here is the options list. The fourth is add option to create new environment. So actually workspace. So this option will work like so. Let's say you have your own personal work, you're working for at your company, and you want to track both of the things differently. So this is basically will allow user to switch between different environments. So basically, yeah, you got the idea, right? Allows user to switch home. Like I think it's we will add more description later on. Now the fifth one is this is more like a system where you would add a task each day, more like a scheduling system. I hope I spelled it correctly. Scheduling system. Thanks Google. Scheduling system. Add a scheduling system, right? Add a scheduling system that will create a task on given time. So this will allow, let's say you have some weekly task that you want to do on a specific day, or it could be daily, or it could be monthly. So what it will do, it will add a task on that specific day, right? Yes, and then you probably have to do it. And the sixth is allow user to track time. So we also want to allow user to track time on that application. For example, I want to see how much I worked on a different task, just to see how productive I have been throughout the years on specific things. Now the fun part is we want to visualize it well. So we want to see the graphs, like how many hours I was able to commit to certain things. And so for this I am for tasks, right? Task. And the seventh will be show info graph, show info, show charts, charts related, charts and data related to tasks that we have done, and the time we worked on. Yeah, so the time we worked on will be very interesting, like how we're going to check on which task we worked on, and maybe we will have to specify a custom label, but then again it will add more more of like issue, but we will figure out. Let's see. Okay, so this is the things that I have in mind for this application. Now let's get started with the displaying of error message, and then we're probably going to work on the fourth part, right? Let me go to server. No, we probably be working on the front end. Okay, cd now just while I was building this, the way the JS ecosystem moves in just 2 weeks, Tailwind introduced a new package, like the Tailwind 3 is out, and the React Router 6 is out. So at some point we will also be moving to doing a system update, like use Tailwind 3 and React Routes 6. So this will be there, and display error messages, right? Display error messages. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so far what we have in this application is we have email, let's say x@g.com, then is it x@g.com. Okay, it looks like some issue. All requests and clear it out, filter it out. Pending. Okay, what happened? TS node is not recognized as internal command. So did we not install it? npm install TS node and save. Actually, it should be in dev. Yeah, so I think this flag, the dev flag is just so that we can tell, okay, so this package is only used for the dev environment. Now, here's the fun part. When you're going to push this code into the server, the nodes sort of work like you sort of yeah, I mean, on the server side there is like everything is dev environment, then you build it, then you run it, but never mind. Okay, let's try to run it. Sorry, not this. npm run dev. Maybe I've changed something and notice not. Okay, I definitely changed something. Get koi. Now this is the handy command to view like what I have changed recently. Okay, so nothing, to be honest. And node ts node packages ts node. There is ts node, right? Do we have to npx ts node npm run dev? Okay, so this works. Now here is the thing, when we run it as an execution, it's not ran by npm, so it's not let's say if I paste this command in here, it will work, I use this command, it will 100% work, no issues. So just to show you, I can say run. You can say test, like npm run test. Now the same command will run. Right, it works and it's listening on port 80. Now the reason is it's working. We don't have to use npx in here. Basically npx looks into your node modules directory, and there will be a command ts node. There it is, right? And it basically looks up this command in this directory. But if we are going to paste the command directly in here in the package.json, it does it automatically. But if you are going to execute it your own, like the way we have specified in here, we have to specify npx. And even if we run this from in here, it will not recognize it. If we use npx, it will recognize the command. So this is what npx does. And yeah, so we added npx. We are good to go. Good GUI. Okay. Wonder how it worked previously. Must be I have it globally, right? Git commit message, add npx prefix into node mon, right? And git add package.json, and then we're going to do this and git gr soft, actually okay, I have to change my username, but that's okay. guser.name. Now this is just my aliases, don't worry about it. And let me also increase the font size so you guys can see it clearly. And we have to run the same command. Okay, so gcp, and that's fine. Okay, display error messages. Now it should work now. Do we have the server running? npm run dev. Yeah, it should be working fine now. Okay, let's see. At some point I'm also thinking that I'm going to replace the okay, so one big issue, we don't have the database. MongoDB. Recently I switched the environment, so this could be a good starting point to like how to set up. You can set up MongoDB using Docker image if you want to. Docker MongoDB with Compass. Actually, Compass image, official image, compose file, compose. Okay, so it should be as simple as looking for a proper compose file that has Docker pull MongoDB latest compose. Let me copy that code, guys. Okay, so we can compose MongoDB. Okay, we download Windows 10. Okay, so enterprise community server. Yes, we want that latest. Yes, it's the latest. Okay, so we're going to download it. Now the second thing we need is tools, Compass, and Windows stable package 7 MSI. I'm fine with that. Okay, it's 100 MB. And how much size does the ZZip version has? It's how come the zipped version is larger than the non-compressed version? Okay, so it will take some time to download it, but you can also try out the images. MongoDB container name is this. Maybe at some point I'll add the compose file and we'll use that instead, but not for now. Okay. Yes, it also throws that the database is missing, but that's okay. So let's look into the UI. Getting started with the UI. So far we have all the logic in here. I guess it's too large for you guys to see. Okay. Some logic in here. We probably want to comment, like add some sort of comments, like what it does. Records, to-dos, state. Okay, so read, to do, reject. This is where we handle. And I was thinking, can we dispatch in here? We probably don't want to. Redux toolkit get handle display errors, error handling. This is a recording. Reject with value. Pagination, no, this. And it will get display error globally and globally. Reject with the values. Okay, so reject with the value. Use reject to go into action. Okay, so let's see. So what it does, reject with values. Reject with thanks API. Reject with value is a utility function that you can use to return or throw in your. Yeah, but okay, so reject with values. Okay. What I assume we will already have, but this is like no, this is we don't need this, right? And update user. And what I was looking for is whether we can update the state in here, but the thing is, I think we will not be able to. And we'll have to handle errors in different way. Fulfilled state error rejection. And dispatch. Dispatch. Then I want to see. Okay, so unwrap original promise result on click. Now here's the thing, this is how we're going to handle the errors, right? This is how we're going to handle the errors. And dispatch has the option to like catch and then pass in the, and then we can basically set the state of the global error, right? I think this is the approach that sort of makes sense, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to comment it out for now. Read to do rejected, and this will only be related to that. And create to do, where it is. create to do. If it's like done, if it's catch, then what we're going to say error, then dispatch handle catch error, and the error will goes like this, and sort of makes sense. Then for this we need to add in to-dos, in store. Let's create a new folder, errors container, right? And errors slice, I will copy that. Errors error slice.ts, and I'll not copy just for the sake of simplicity. So create slice, we need create slice from the Redux toolkit. I'm going to say import create slice, and hopefully it checks it, and create slice. And what we're going to do is first errors and create slice, right? And let me check how we define it in here. To do slice, and do we import it? What part of this? So we export actions and reducers from that. Okay. Errors slice, right? Slice, and does it take what parameter of? Okay, so this is really okay, so this takes name is like okay, so the name should be to do. Okay, so it takes an object. Yeah, it takes an object and takes a name. Name is errors, or maybe I can say errors slice, error slice, error slice. There's about 2 parameter of create slice. Okay, we'll see. And then we take initial state. We'll have let's define it here. Initial state shell state and it will have this with following properties. Now we're going to look into like the error, what is going on. Reducer is missing in the type. Reducers we define it, don't worry. Okay, so it will have create slice the errors. It will have success, and success which will be string, right? And we can also define interface for initial state, error state. It will have success, which will be string. It will have error. It will be string, right? Success and error, or we can say message, and then we will have to check the type of the message. It could be like in enum, and it will be error or success, right? It's going to be error or success. Okay, so that is done. What else we need for this? I think that's about all we need for now, and let's assign this. Let's assign the type for the initial state, and we have to say message, probably empty for default. Type is equal to success. We can say type should also be like nullable, if there is like no message, we don't have to okay, so this sort of makes some issues. So I'm going to say error is string and success is string, and I'm going to remove this error initial message, success is optional, error is optional, right? Success and let's not do this and have it all the time. Now we defined the initial state, we specified it, now we have to create the reducers, right? And remember, we also have to export certain things from this. So what we're going to export is, one is we're going to export actions, right? And actions, I guess the actions set filter, where is set filter? Okay, this is the part of reducer and the reducer itself. Okay, errors slice, export cost, export action, and going to do inside of the action will be set error, and set error will take few things. It will be a function and it will take state, which is a draft of the state, right? And action, and let's infer the types. Payload type is string, action is declared but its value is never read, parameter is payload, could be anything, and the type is string. Okay, so we've done that. Now state error is equal to action dot payload dot error. Now the way this will work is so what we're going to do is we're going to dispatch. So I'm just going to show you some example. Cost dispatch, use dispatch, right, like so, and we will have access to that. And what we're going to do is export set errors, and we will export it from here. And when we want to use it inside of a library, what we're going to do is we're going to call something like set error, and it will take in terms of payload, we're going to say request failed, something like that. But in our case, we also want to handle HTTP request directly. I don't want to so in case of the failure of the HTTP error, we're going to allow we're going to make it dynamic, so we can just pass in error. We will basically add a new method for that, but let's see. Okay, so this looks good. And okay, actions payload. Can we specify the type of payload? We should be able to, but I don't know. Action payload, add payload type. But I'll keep it simple for now, and so let it be that way. And okay, so we done that. The error will be there. We don't have to return anything. The state will automatically be updated, because remember, it's a writable draft. Now this is if you worked with Redux previously in Toolkit, you basically have to you don't have to worry about like returning the state, but previously you would be doing something like, okay, so we got the state, this is the old state, we're going to update the error with the new value in, and then return the same object. But with the writable draft. This is like a standalone package. You don't have to worry about it, right? There is a package called MERN, and it takes care of that. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So anytime we change the state, it will automatically capture it. Okay, so that being said, we done with the this, and we have reducer and export reducer, and we're going to export default will be reducer. Okay, default reducer error slice errors. Now here let me also set success. Also let's move it up. We're going to add a comma, state, action, payload, success. Payload, I think we can just assign payload because interesting. Now let's see. Okay, we will play around with that, and let's see. Payload. Do we have we specified types in here? I mean, that'll be cool if we can do that. Redux toolkit action type. But before we look into it, let's finish that. Okay, so our database will be downloaded as well. Which one do we want to install first? I want to install the MongoDB server. Okay, let it install. Complete whatever. Yeah, just go ahead. Okay, so now we just defined it, like we added 2 methods, that's all. And so we haven't registered it. So what I mean by register, we have to tell our store that we want to use that slice, and the way we're going to do this is in here, and to do reducer error reducer errors, and it's not errors, it should be error, right? It should be error and error slice. Okay, or its corresponding type declaration. It's declared but value never read. Okay, error container, and I'll close this, and I think it should be fine. It's complaining cannot find the module error. Strange, but its corresponding type declaration. Error slice and type declaration. Is it? I don't see why it's unable to find it. Could it be the issue with the? Let me close this, and then we're going to reopen it. Okay, a catcher. Let me do this, and then we're going to start the UI and see if we still run into an error, because sometimes JS does stupid things. Webpack output is served from content. Okay, so we have sort of an issue. Okay, so the issue is in here. That's the issue, and okay, so this is the code we have added just to catch the errors, right? And okay, go ahead, do that. So what we can do is import, and for now we're going to just simply set error from store store error slice. We're going to set error, and the error will be failed to create task member. Okay, so error is not needed, but we basically logged an error, which is good. Okay, now since we've done that, we should also check store.index file. Store.index. Now voila, it's fixed. I don't know why it was complaining before. Must be some issue related to like updating the name, and it was still referring to the old, but it's resolved. Okay, now the error is fixed. Now the next part is we also need to display this information in our application, right? And where should we do that? I think for now what I will be doing is just I will just display it somewhere very generic, and okay, so Redux toolkit directory structure, right? I just want to follow their recommended guide. I think that'll be really good in the long run. Okay, so for this, inject store. FAQ performance. We can Redux toolkit example projects quick start. Okay, quick start git repository. Now overview of the example. Do we have a git example on git? Okay, so here it is, and we have source directory, slices, and components. Now thing is, we can actually add an error component, error.ts, which is like a feature, and oh, the leaf is appearing, so I think the installation is finished. Okay, start using Compass. Voila, nice. And then for the database connection, let's see on the back end. CD server on the back end. Okay, so there it is. I'll add it right. So we have our data, and the backend should be fine. It was complaining before. npm run dev. Okay. It should work, and we should be able to log in now. Okay, so x@g.com. Okay, so login is working now. This is like one of the best thing about MongoDB is like we don't have to run any migrations. Some people will say it's also the worst thing. Yeah, I sort of agree, but if you just want to get things done, you don't have to worry about it, right? So the database is there, the to-do list table is there, the user is already created, and what else you need? Okay, so I was thinking that we might want to show the error somewhere here or at the bottom, but let's see, right? Or maybe we can display a small pop-up. Okay, so something stopped working, display on the side. Okay, that is cool, fun. Okay, so in here we basically want to build a component, And before we do that, I just want to understand how do we structure GitHub. And I think this video has reference. By the way, do check out his channel. He's awesome dude. Learn with JSON, right? Demo app. Repo. I'm only interested in repo source. There will be a folder called features, and under the feature we have counter slice and docs slice, and the components app store. Do we have other branches? All branches? No, the only one is that. 2 commits. Feature app. Okay, so let's see. Redux toolkit, user guide document page, store feature, components. That's right. Where do we specify the components? Redux toolkit components. Can the component show the UI? Okay, so the way we define component is inside the feature we're going to create a counter, and counter will have a component, right? So it sort of makes sense. We all just have to uppercase it, right? Error. This will have all the code related to UI. For example, we want to use dispatch. We're going to do it in here. Dispatch. Actually, we're going to use const, use reducer, use select, right? Use select. There will be an example from other. Use select. I'll have this from here. Use selector, right? Const selector will have error object. Error object will be the state. Use select selector, and inside here we will have state. From the state we want to pull on state dot error. Now it does not exist on type default root. Okay, wait. Root state, right? Root state. Okay, so this will contain the state, the current state of the same component. The error slice. Let's say we update error message from anywhere in our application, and we should be able to reflect this on this component, right? And the way we're going to do is if error dot, we can actually decode it, success and error, right? If success, if the error is later success, we're going to return, we're going to say div close it out, div success. We're going to just basically log this, right? And else we're going to return error. And why? It's because it needs to be tsx, because it's not a valid JSON JavaScript, it's a TypeScript syntax, right? Extension, I mean. Okay, so we only want to return error when we have error, else we return null, which is totally fine. And export default default error. Then we did like export the component itself. Now I should be able to use this component from anywhere. Okay. We have in here, we set the error and create to do okay, so we close this out and the component, we close this out and errors to do's. We go to application. Application has nothing. Where do we want to display? We layout. Where is the layout? Okay, so we have sidebar. We have the main component, and so there are certain ways we can display that. For now, I'm just going to render it just above the children's, right? And the way we're going to display it, we're going to import error from store and store errors and the error component, right? We've done that, and then we basically do this. It should work. Now if I reload this, nothing will reflect. Let's go to our initial state and let's add error, and hopefully we'll see something, and there it is. And this is how we built a small, like how do you say it, small error container. And what we can do is there is like this thing called react partials. No. There is a way to inject a component in a container, like in a div. So I will think about whether that is like the correct approach, but for now I guess the way I would like to see this, one is I want it to disappear after a certain time. That would be one, and the second would be redux. Yeah, so the one is like once error happens, I want it to disappear after certain seconds. We will have to figure out how we're going to do that. Yeah, I think that will be in actions, right? So yeah, I think I sort of have some idea how I'm going to achieve that. So yeah, so that's not an issue. Maybe we can style it in some way. Success. It will appear. Okay, so if it's success, it will return early. So not an issue. And right now it's just as simple as like adding styling to the component documentation. Alert. I'm still using 2.0, this version 2 of this. Okay. Display warning. I don't think they have anything related to alert, or we basically have to add border. I think border is good. Class name border, and border radius border radius would be MD. That would be awesome, right? Border radius will be MD, and let's see. Okay, so MD is just too aggressive. I think rounded is good enough, and padding would be 2. Yeah, perfect. And the color would be text green, text color green. Do we have green? Text green, right? Okay, so I think this will be good enough for now. Text green, and also we need a background. Background color. Well, we cannot make it too green. Okay, if the text is green, we might want to just stick with the green background, and the color will be white. Fine, right? Okay, so this green looks horrible. Maybe we try 50. Still looks horrible. Maybe we can blue 300 or blue 400. Oh god. No, I mean we really need to work on the design. Border, I think in that case we can ignore border, right? Green 50. I mean, I will keep this for now, but we definitely need to think about how we're going to like style the theme in a better way. Okay, so this one is done. I'm going to close this, and so we sort of have the UI, and before we do anything, let's just, okay, it's fine. Let's also like remove all the warnings. To do slice, we use this, but not perfectly. We're going to remove this. Okay, fine, we removed all the warning. Now let's remove the yarn. Remove yarn.log gs. I'm going to add this file, and this one, and then this directory, right? gs git commit message add errors. We remember we also have to add backslash because we are using single quote, right? Get add errors slice. Okay, so it makes sense. Okay, wait, what? Okay, and message add slice. Okay, fine, and this works excellent. And one more thing what we can do is like to make it more organized. Let's say some component have like way more components, and for example to do it has like more than plenty of components. I think in that case we can create a new components folder in here and add more components inside that. But let's see. Okay, so at some point I will rename the store to features. I think that will be good, but not today. Okay, so what else do we have in our to-do list? We sort of have it. Then the subtask would be to like the second one would be add CSS to handle error message from HTTP request, right? We need to handle that. And add CSS, move error to side corner. Okay, or add option to hide error messages after X amount of time. I think that's also very important. Add option to create new workspace. That we will be working on at some point. And I think for now I like that we have this. I think the next thing I would probably want to do is on my priority should be like adding an option to hide the error message after a certain time, right? As of now I'm just looking to build a working version so I can use it as soon as possible, right? And that's what I'm thinking. Now why not add it right now? If we can watch it, that'll be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. Okay. Success. We have success. What else do we have? Error messages. Toolkit. To do errors. Actions. Error actions.ts. Error.action.ts. And what do we have in actions? We basically have thunks and actions. Now the way I want to implement it, actually the payload will be string. Okay, so error action, this will be a dispatch. Yes, so this will be like a function. So the thing is we only the state, reducers in reducer, we only want to change the state, right? We don't want to do anything that contains side effect being we don't want to make HTTP requests, we don't want to play around with the DOM, we don't want to set any timeouts, right? So the reducers only be side effect free. That's the idea. And function, we can say set error and export set error, right? And what we're going to do is the first thing we need to do is dispatch. How we can use dispatch? Use error. Use error right? And it will return set. Okay, so use error. So basically my idea is to like use dispatch. So use dispatch, right? And what we're going to say, dispatch set error, and set error to the any value that we get from use error hook. No, not from the use error hook. We're going to get it from error hooks. Use error slice. actually once this is set, we basically want to say done, and after done we're going to add a set timeout, and the set timeout will also reset the error message to like empty. So this is like my idea around it. Then does not exist on type payload string. Okay. Or once that is set, we can just say timeout and give some value to execute it after. Right. Okay, so okay. Now here's the thing: use error. Use error. Set error. Use error. Okay, we will see. I think I'm overall okay with that, the way this is going. I think I saw it somewhere. I'm trying to recall it, but never mind. We'll figure out something. And the dispatch is like set error, and we also have to dispatch. Dispatch set error, and for now let's just say that we will pass a string. Use error. Okay, React hook. Okay, actually the thing is, dispatch will take any function. For example, redux toolkit dispatch. It basically takes any function. Okay, dispatch type. Okay, dispatch. It takes in a function, returns this. Okay. Dispatch. Yes. Okay. So I think the thing is set errors, and we will have the let's print out all the errors we get from handle errors. We might want to change the name of it, error slice. Import everything as error slice. Like, doesn't make sense? Yes, totally. And we export set error, and that'll be where we have the set error. Remove this when we have a master, and master has it. And in here, what we can do is import set error from store, from errors, and error action, and error action set error. Okay, so I think we don't need it here. I think it's set. Yeah, so add item. Okay, so we do have add item and failed to create item. Now here is the thing. Just for testing, I want to add error in here, right? Add error in here. Set error. set error, and let's see. It takes set error. No overloading matching this call. Argument of type void is not assignable to parameter type action. Okay, so here's okay, so set error, right? Dispatch set error. And I think we will get dispatch. Let's log the errors. Args, right? And let's log it out. Let's type any. Well, okay. So basically, these three dots will capture all the argument inside the function, right? It will, if we pass in XYZ, it will all combine it into a single argument. And let's try to run it. Test and see the log. What do we get in log? I have to upgrade it. Okay, so node as I have expected, but let's see. Okay, add item. Okay, so I want to do the dispatch in here, right? Is everything all right with the back UI server? It looks like it died. npm run start. Okay, you should do it regularly. No, I don't want to do it. Okay, and is there like any stupid loop do we got? Test. Okay, so we get the two function, get state and dispatch, right? We have two functions. Now can we pass in an argument inside error? Well, yes, we can. And the way we're going to do that is by returning another function dot, because see it only needs a function. So what we can do, it's just like passing in another function which will have dispatch and get state and this will contain the error message, and error message is string and dispatch is dispatch. Let's say any, and get state should be any. It would be root state if I'm not wrong, and dispatch is we will assign some parameters down the line. And okay, so log error, and let's see, and they expect to be test dispatch any state, no overloading matching, argument of type dispatch get state void is not assignable to parameter of any action, thunk action. Okay, let's say any. I'll have it removed and just do nothing, right? And we had test, and console was cleared. Now here's the if we add this, we are able to log the test, right? And it sort of worked. Let's say dispatch error slice error slice, and set error, and we want to set error to this, right? And set timeout. Then after a few milliseconds, we want to dispatch another thing which will clear out this error. Okay, so cool. And success needs to be error slice, and for the testing purpose we need to remove this. And I'm going to remove this, and let's enter, and we should see one error saying test, and once that is displayed, it should disappear. Should not disappear instantly, then we will not be able to debug it. How about 500? I think that will be 600 ms will be good enough time for us to test. Okay, so it sort of worked, like 900 or like 1000, it worked, right? So it will disappear after certain time. We can say to test. Okay, it worked. Maybe we can say 9000, which is like, we can translate into seconds. Okay, so this is perfect. It appears in here. It will disappear hopefully sometime soon. It disappeared, so that's pretty good. So this word, I can remove this, and the one thing we have to basically check, okay, so when the components go out of the state, we should be still able to do that, but in that case I think we are fine. We don't have to worry about too much. So everything's looking good. This sort of worked, and yeah, we can do the same for success. So this is how we can like display error messages and then sort of make it disappear after a certain time. And this worked. That's cool. And yeah, let's say hello world. Now we still haven't fixed a few issues. For example, we still have to we still have to handle the HTTP request issues, right? So that is still there, but overall I think we sort of nailed down two issues. One is this, and the second is like display error, and the next one will be like handling the errors from the HTTP request. So this one will be here as well. We can actually just do it right now. Why not do it, right? So since we are at it, and okay, so let's close this one, and error slice. Now just to avoid confusion and misery, I just want to like change the names to like avoid confusion. So I don't want the developers to use this, and I just want them to use that specific method. But I mean, we probably want to reown the names. We can add like this. Okay, so don't use this. This is no public use. You use method from action instead, right? Instead, and we can export it, and set success will be the same, and we sort of fixed the issues. Error, set error, right, and set success, and okay. Okay, so set error, we can do the same for set success. Let's handle success first. Success error timeout const error timeout is equal to error timeout. And since we are making it constant, we should just use uppercase, right? Uppercase. Well, how did we move it? Error. Have they removed this option where we would just copy line up, where we would just like uppercase everything? Time out. I guess they did. Okay. Error timeout. Timeout. Set timeout. Okay, so this makes perfect sense. We can even go and remove the following, and same goes for this. Okay, so looks about good. I think I'll do some research whether we can improve this approach. If you guys know anything, please do let me know in the comment section. And yeah, so this looks good. I would still prefer small store and errors slice. Okay, so timeout is there, this is here. Looks good. Error slice, perfect. We can improve it, but it's perfect for now. Set error, and now we want to handle HTTP errors, right? API errors from API endpoint. Anytime the dispatch is rejected, we want to capture and show this error on the UI at somewhere. So what we can do is catch error. Well, this is so generic, right? Set HTTP error. Set HTTP error. I mean, this is fine. We say any, and we don't return. Actually, we sort of have to return, but we can comment it out. I'm going to say, okay, log error, and okay. So, can we improve in some way? Dispatch. No, I think we cannot access dispatch in this function alone. I think we might, if we want to access dispatch, we might want to import store, which I don't want to do that. But let's see. I think so far I'm okay with that approach. Like we can dispatch and we have nested dispatch after that. So I'm totally fine with that. Set success, set error, that's perfect. Actually, it should be success. Okay, maybe text is perfect. Text is perfect. Okay, let's use this and dispatch. Handle set HTTP error, and we have the error, right? Then get from action. Okay, so we get the error from action, right? Okay, now what to test this, what we basically have to do is create to do, and can we like fake the rejection? Can we mock the rejection from the, like, without changing the backend implementation? I think that'll be cool. Also, we basically have to go to the server and go to create to do, that is like to do create, right? And we basically throw an exception from here like this. We going to throw an exception just on purpose, and let's see how it reacts. Okay, test HTTP bad request, and HTTP bad request. Okay, so it's logging something, and suddenly let's say type of, we just want the type of this. Console was cleared, HTTP error, and to do's create post dispatch, and we don't want to do this. Dispatch we run this dispatch, and then we hello world, or we can say, okay, so we just want to see if we are able to log the output, right? And no, we are not able to, and the reason is it's a catch. Create to do task, we assigned a task and with the value, and we are not able to catch the errors. Dispatch, okay, I mean, we should be able to, like, there should be a way to catch it. Okay, user, fetch user by ID, dispatch catch error, redux tongue handle exception, throw catch error, fetch throw catch error, dispatch. Throw new error, fetch error catch, dispatch, toolkit. Toolkit, error handling, get query data error, dispatch, error handling, redux toolkit, and there should be some way we can do that, right? Okay, reject with value, Axios. Isn't it like always rejected? If response is not this, throw rejection with value. Okay. We use Thunks API. The second argument in the payload is in get state, reject with values, fulfilled with values. Okay, but we take note, reject value utility addition option for Thunks API that you can return through in okay, so what else? Because I just don't want to like add a try catch into each endpoint. Shouldn't it be like by default, if something goes wrong, we should be able to capture it? Okay, so let's see one more time, and go to network. It fails miserably, bad request, unable to create a record, which totally makes sense. but for some reason we are not able to catch it. Okay. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? Then log hello world, right? Then we just let's see what is going on then. Okay, so this is interesting. They think that it never failed. Interesting. So in their mind it always worked. Okay, so maybe have we messed up in while we were setting up Axios? Hope not. I mean, error normalizer. New promised or rejection. No, new promised or rejection. Right. What if we return the error? Now this is interesting, right? We have to handle it in proper Axios. Actually we have to display some sort of error. So I think what I'll do, I'll figure it out. Either we have to actually update we might have to update the actions and like if I do shift E to do actions, we might want to update this sort of logic and check whether the API returns an error or success, and based on that we will see what sort of makes sense. But hopefully we don't have to, else it will be like a lot of repetition. Maybe we can create a function and wrap it around Axios, and I think that could be a good thing. Axios.get. Let's see one more thing. What if we do read to-do list, right? We have this, and import Axios from Axios, like Axios raw, and Axios raw.get, right? It should, I mean, this should result in some sort of error, and let's see. Let's see if we are able to catch this error log e error, right? If we are able to catch this one, we know that it does not work. And if we are unable to catch this, we are 100% sure that we have to manually do something. Yeah, so we basically have to manually create a method to handle all of that. The thing is, why I'm sure, because this is like a raw call. This is just the straight coming up from the Axios library, and if we have messed something up in core, like the way we set up interceptors, this should have worked, but it's clear it's not working. We basically have to see if it's an error, then we're going to pass in through the special parameter that's provided by create async thunk. Yeah, so I'll stop it right here, or why not like just complete this. Okay, so let's do that. Reject with reject with value, right? And we want to see like where it's coming from. So user data, the first parameter is user data and the second parameter is rejection. Okay, so there it is. And okay, in here there is like no data, so what do I expect? User data, there's literally nothing. Reject user data, payload, value, meta, reject with value. Can we say payload and reject with value? Let's see, right? And catch reject with value. If it's catch reject with value, if it's there's an error, we're going to say okay, so we want to handle the error in a certain way. And if Axios road or get fails it, and so we reject with value. Let's see. I'm not sure. So when I'm not sure about something, what I usually do is visit GitHub and just see like how others have used the same function in their code. So this user slice, and the way they are using it, like in try catch. Okay, so they wait for a try and catch. This is interesting, right? And you can also like see how they are using it. Okay, so the first parameter, we are 100% certain that it has to be there. We also have to mock it, like underscore fetch products, Axios data, Axios error, API response. Yeah, so that's about it. Like we basically have to rejection with value. We have to handle it in that way. I was hoping there would be like something very simple, but it looks like there is not. So catch. Okay. Reject with value. Okay. So what we can do is can we have Axios Redux thunk handler function. Now this is not specific to Axios, it's specific to Redux, and adding in like I mean, maybe I can add this like utils, utils.js, right? Utils or helper, some sort of I think thunk wrapper, error handler, thunk wrapper, and is a call, and then we have function rejected, right? Rejected, and okay, if it's rejected, then we do on success. Okay, so on success, we basically return this. On rejection, we basically return this. Okay, so we have try catch const data, and we're going to say await call. this is some sort of function. It's a await. It's not a function call, it's more like async. So we basically have to check how it's going to play out, and then we run this. If we say promise, we don't have to execute promise, right? We just only have to wait for a promise. So that is okay. And in terms of error, we're going to return this, and hopefully it should work. Export thunk wrapper. Excuse, sorry, we don't have to change anything in here. And import thunk wrapper from components, from core, tokenizer, right? Tokenizer, no, utils, thunk wrapper. I mean, well, we can't do right now, sorry. And yeah, I think hopefully it will work, like hopefully. And we can just like pass in thunk wrapper, and I'm pretty sure it will work. And let's see if there are any issues, and hopefully we should be able to see this. Okay, unexpected word await, because the function needs to be async. Thunk wrapper async. We can only use await inside the async function. Cannot destructure property done of action payload, as it is undefined. Action.payload. And where does the error come from? To do slice A485. Okay. Okay, so we never returned it. Stupid. Okay, so what do we see? A different error. Set error is defined but never used. A non-zero value was detected in action. The path payload value request failed with the status. Type to do rejected, failed with to do read rejected. Message like rejected, but I think we are pretty close to where we should be. The meta and the error is like message rejected. Let's not complicate it, right? How we can make it easy. The way we can simplify it, let's remove this and try catch, and we're going to say await in here, and we grab the data from here, say data is this, and then we simply return the data. And now while we are returning it, if in case there are any errors, we catch it like so. And then we use GitHub for like how do they do it. Okay, error response is not there, then we throw an error. Rejection with value. These seem like this should be okay. And let's see. done async usage too. Can we destruct the property of done? Okay, so we're done. Okay, so this I think is the console log that we have in place. I don't think so, maybe, but let's remove this. Nope. This is like some other issue where it was detected in an action. A non-serializable value was detected in an action, and error request failed with the status 404. So I will check like what is this issue. I'm super stuck on this, and we will see like what is like the solution. So I'll stop the video for now.